So you began cooking at a very early age, apparently, and has had the privilege of training. I'm reading this a little bit. The privilege of training under many chefs that have pushed him to advance his creativity more than he ever thought his culinary field could go. And I appreciate all of the compliments to other people, but we're really excited to have you. And tell us what you're going to prepare for us today, because I don't know that everybody has gotten the message about your recipe.
Today I'm going to do a bacon jam crostini with grilled peach and brie cheese that's melted on top of it.
Yum. Okay, bacon jam crostini with grilled peaches and brie. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're not cooking along with you. We're just watching you. And then we're going to try to do this ourselves at home. So we're not real close up to your workspace. So I may jump in and others may jump in and ask you what you're doing. Is that okay with you? You may get interrupted.
That's no problem.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's real simple to make it. The bacon jam, it'll take about an hour to an hour and a half to make. Just so it breaks down. I did make some ahead of time for time's sake, but first you want to start with your pan pretty warm, and you just want to add your bacon to it.
Now, and are those little pieces of
bacon that I've diced? It's about a pound of bacon.
How small are you dicing that? About pretty small, huh?
It's about 1/4 inch.
Oh, pretty small. Okay.
The smaller you make it, the faster it'll break down. But you want to cook it on kind of low heat because you don't really want to brown the bacon. You just want to cook it real good.
You pretty much had me at bacon, so you know it's going to be golden from here out.
And you're going to want to cook it to about 3/4 cook, and then you'll drain the grease off. And then after that, you'll add your onion. I'll go ahead and start cutting my onion.
What kind of knife do you use to do stuff like cutting onions? What kind of knife?
What kind of knife? It's just I believe it's Zenzuo chef knife, just a Damascus steel folded.
Now, did you just quarter the onion?
Well, I'm peeling it right now, and then you'll slice it fairly thick.
Now, Brady, with all the onion skins, things like that, do you ever save that and use that for like stocks?
Yes, we do. We at the hospital, we make our chicken stock from scratch for the patients, and as well as soups. And then what we're pretty known for is our ramen, and we make our stock from pork bones and leftover vegetables, add it all to the stock, and it cooks for a while.
That's something that I've just started doing, and I've really enjoyed making my own stock.
Mm-hmm. But for the onion, I cut it in a half long ways, and then just slice it into just smaller pieces. But you want it kind of thick. That way it breaks down about the same time as the bacon does for the jam. And you want to do all 4 halves that way.
Question?
Go ahead, Alice.
I haven't read the recipe, obviously, when I asked this question, but is that a white onion? And does it matter what kind of onion?
What kind of onion? Does it
I
matter?
just typically use yellow onion. It's not super sweet, and it just a good neutral onion to use.
Now, you say you did use 2 onions, is that correct?
Yes, two large onions.
And how many is this going to serve?
It depends on how much you want on your crostini, but it could be you probably get about 20 crostinis out of 20 to 30.
That's a lot. And that's a nice appetizer size.
Yes.
Now, how much bacon did you use?
How much bacon? It's 1 pound of bacon. So if you wanted to cut it in half so you wouldn't have as much, you would just use a half pound of bacon and 1 onion.
And all this is on the recipe, y'all. I mean, you can ask certainly, but it is on the recipe.
And you'll start seeing quite a bit of grease come off of this bacon. And when it gets to that point, it's about time to drain your grease and add all your other ingredients. So I've got a strainer over here that I'll just and some is all right to leave in there just so the pan won't stick. And then you want to bring that back up to where it'll start simmering again. And the recipe I did give, it's just a basic bacon jam that I like to use, but also don't really use recipes that often. It's more or less I just like adding my own flair to it. So for this one, I added some garlic to it, just a couple cloves of garlic to add in with the onion. And then just stir this around, mix it all together, and you want to get your pan pretty hot for the bourbon, because you'll want to get it hot enough to where it'll have a flash point. And well, I'll show you.
I bet it smells pretty good in your kitchen right now.
That's what I was thinking. Onions and garlic and
It
bacon.
makes a pretty good flame. So you add about a 1/4 cup of bourbon. You can use brandy, just any kind that kind of.
Now, if
You
we
just-
don't have one of those nifty little things, can we bypass
I'm
that?
not sure if you can see that on the camera, but it does. Well, it did.
Did it flame up? Ooh,
Yep.
It should usually flare up some. Depends on how hot your pan is, and it's if you're doing it on a gas stove, I would recommend being a little careful, because if that grease pops up on that flame, it'll ignite pretty quick. But whenever you add your bourbon, you want to have it or light it, and once that flame is out, all the alcohol is burned off on it. You don't have to, it just burns it off faster. If you don't have a flame, and really you could do it with a lighter, you could cook it off. It'll just take a little bit longer, and it'll get more of a alcoholic flavor in it. Some might want that, some might not.
I can just hear it now. Executive director dies in kitchen fire.
She was laughing at herself being a
And
danger in the
once
kitchen.
your alcohol's burned off, then you'll add your balsamic vinegar, and it's 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, 1/3 of a cup of strong brew coffee, and it doesn't have to be fresh coffee. It can be older coffee that you made at the beginning of the day. And then you'll add a 1/2 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar.
This is so interesting. I've never made anything like this.
I know.
Lindy, I bet you like that balsamic vinegar. That's one of her faves.
Mhm.
And that'll give you like a little strong taste to it with the vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just give it a
I mean, just
stir.
all the sweet and sour together. I bet it's just absolutely yummy. And salty too with
Yeah.
the bacon.
And then me personally, I like a little bit of heat, and especially if it's a sweet dish. It's got a little bit of all the brown sugar in it. I'll add some cayenne pepper or red pepper flake, whichever you prefer, but just to give it a little extra taste to it. And you'll have quite a bit of liquid on this, and that's where the hour to an hour and a half it takes, because you want all that liquid to evaporate while breaking down the bacon and the onion, and you'll want it on kind of a medium heat simmer.
Do you not cover it because you want it to evaporate?
You can, but with the covering it, it will also add a little bit more moisture to it.
Uh-huh.
And so I usually don't cover it.
Okay. You just cook it to death.
Yeah. It's one of those that you could just set on the stove and just kind of forget about it while you're doing other things.
Okay.
Right now I have my heat about halfway, and it's a nice simmer. And then now I'm gonna take my peaches, and obviously I don't have a grill over here, but I do have preheated in the oven a cast iron grate
Mhm.
that acts kind of like a grill. And you could do it just straight in the oven. You could do it in a saute pan, however you prefer to do it. And you just want to split the peach and remove the pit. Maybe. And you can leave the skin on, because whenever you grill it with the high heat, it'll kind of fold that skin to make it easier to peel.
I'm going to try your jam part over Brussels sprouts.
Do I bet that would be good.
If you like Brussels sprouts, which I do, but not everybody does. People have very strong opinions about Brussels sprouts. So. It's 50-50 at my house.
I never liked them until a few years ago.
Yeah, me neither.
And you'll grill these peaches face the cut part down, and you'll get nice good grill marks on it. You can flip it halfway through if you're not using a grill grate or actual grill, just to get both sides caramelized.
So you didn't put anything on those peaches. They're just naked.
Correct.
And you could saute them if you didn't grill.
Yes.
Okay.
If you saute them, you could cut them or go ahead and slice them
Mhm.
rather than leave them halves. But with it grilling, it just makes it easier to leave them as a half.
Okay. Alice is asking, should the peaches be fairly firm? Does it matter what ripeness the peaches
Yeah,
are?
fairly firm, a
Okay.
little bit of softness to it. And on this bacon jam, what I like to do, you can leave it whole like it is and just cook it and leave it that way. Or you can, once it's almost done, you'll have a little bit of liquid left. You could throw it in a food processor and just pulse it a few times
Mhm.
and make it a different consistency, which is what I prefer. And this is what I don't know how well it looks on the.
Pick up a little spoonful of it. Let me see what it looks like on your spoon. So it's kind of chunky, like a chunky preserves
Yes, correct.
or apple butter or something.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's pretty smooth. Yeah. Like oatmeal.
Yeah, almost like an apricot jam or something.
Okay.
And I'm just going to heat this up a little bit.
So you want to serve it warm?
You want to serve it warm? Your bacon jam is
you could,
warm when you serve it?
Whenever you add the cheese to it, you'll hit it with the flame as well, or you could throw
Okay.
it in your oven depending on what you have. So yeah, warm will be either warm or room temperature
Okay.
for this appetizer. But as far as the bacon jam, if you want to keep it in your refrigerator and just spread it on toast or however you want, I could eat it on anything.
Why do we have this class at lunchtime? What was that?
That's
My
so,
mom, go
that's so
ahead.
everyone in the audience will say, oh, that sounds so good.
I
Yeah.
know they all have sounded so good.
Everyone's starving.
My mother loved the fish tacos last week. My dad's gonna love this one, I can tell. The grilled peaches, the bacon jam, brie. Sounds wonderful.
How long will this bacon jam last in the refrigerator?
I probably wouldn't, because of you'll still have a little bit of fat, and in the refrigerator it'll kind of, you'll see the fat and you can scrape that off, but probably about 7 to 10 days is about as long as I would keep it.
Okay.
I'm sure
Oh,
we could
yeah.
eat it by the end.
If
It
you
won't
can
last
keep
that
it
long.
Peaches, it varies depending on how much caramelization you want on it. About 3 to 5 minutes, because you want it broke down and soft whenever you pull it out.
So we haven't seen the recipe. So you're going to tell us about the bread. What kind?
The bread, this is just a regular French baguette. You can get it from the store. Sometimes they're already toasted, at the store, or you can get them raw. If they're raw, just 3 to 5 minutes, a little bit longer depending on how dark you want the bread, but basically just golden brown.
Okay.
And then you'll want to cut it on a bias, which is like an angle.
How thick would that slice be?
How thick?
There's about a 1/4 inch.
So
Okay.
pretty thin. Okay.
Yeah, you could do them thicker if you want. I've just, whenever they're thinner, they're softer. They don't break your teeth, if you will.
I don't have a kitchen. I don't have a kitchen right now because I'm doing some remodeling. So, Anne, when you make this, let me know and I'll be over.
Okay.
And I cut it on a bias just because more surface area. You can cut them just rounds if you want, but and that was half of a baguette, and I've got almost 12 pieces out of it. So
Y'all, Connie said she couldn't be here today because it was her birthday, but she's going to watch the recording and we'll send her the recipe. So,
and a good way to tell on the peaches is, like I said, with the skin on there, you should be able to just kind of touch it and that skin will start peeling away real easy.
Would you hold up one of the pieces of bread when you have time?
It's just, yeah, about a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, do you use that bread as it is, or do you toast it before you put the stuff on it?
No, with the you can toast it. I like the softer feel of the
Okay.
bread. Like whenever you bake it, it'll have the crust on the outside, but the inside I like to leave pretty soft.
Did you have a temperature on that oven?
The temperature I had it on, since I wasn't grilling it, I needed a pretty high heat. This one was set to 500 degrees, just so I could get a good caramelization and sear on them.
so you're peeling them now.
Yes.
Okay.
A little warm.
Little warm.
Hot, hot.
And then I'll just arrange 6 there. And you'll take your find a smaller spoon. You'll take your bacon jam and you'll spread a good generous portion on these crostinis.
There used to be a Southern chef that I followed. I can't remember her name. She would say a gracious plenty. Do y'all remember that? A gracious plenty.
But you'll see it's got a good layer of bacon jam because that's the star of it.
Mhm.
Yum.
And you can see you might be able to see the good caramelization on the peach. And that's one of the reasons I don't add anything, because cooking it like that will bring out the natural sugars.
Mhm. And the bacon jam is already a little sweet anyway with the
Yes,
sugar
correct.
in it. Yeah.
And then you'll just want to slice it in little segments, like you would get for like a canned peach. And just lay a piece on top of each one.
Hey, Vicky, when he's done, will you take a picture?
Yes,
Okay.
she said yes. Okay. And then once you're done with that, clean my station off a little bit. You'll take some brie cheese and just any soft ripened brie cheese from the grocery store works.
Rind on.
Yes, right on.
Okay.
And just add a piece on top of the peach. And then you can either throw it back in the oven at a high heat, or you can take your blowtorch or any kind of flame.
Not sure how many of us have blowtorches at home in our kitchen, but I might be surprised. I have one of those little things for creme brulee, but I don't know what I've done with it.
I think my kids would have a heart attack if I had one in my kitchen.
So you can stick it back in the oven. So you already have that high oven for your peaches anyway, apparently.
Right. Or we could probably broil it, couldn't we?
Do what? Yes, you can put it back in the oven and broil it. And
Yeah.
then
But watch it really carefully.
Yeah.
and I'll just take a little bit of green onion and garnish it.
Could you use an herb like thyme or I don't know?
You could use pretty much any kind of garnish you want. I went with the green onions because there was onion in it, and
Mhm.
it just added some different color to it. And
Voila.
that's it.
We're gonna
Wonderful.
Yay.
Okay.
Well, if you had your bacon jam done ahead of time, you could do that a couple days before. This would come together really quickly, wouldn't it?
Correct. Yeah, you can make it a few days ahead of time if you wanted to.
And the appetizer is served warm to room temperature,
Correct.
warmish.
Mm.
Okay.
Warm when you put it out.
Yeah. And still good when it's room temperature, I bet.
Yes.
I love brie. And I bet you could use Camembert, couldn't you? Or Saint Andre or,
I forgot what kind I used. Brie, it really not that big of a deal on the brand. Had just a
Right.
good soft ripened brie.
okay.
Oh, it looks delicious.
And they're telling me someone else needs the classroom, so I'm gonna have to wrap up.
Okay, well, any other questions? Y'all have any other questions?
No, but thank you so much. This looked wonderful.
All right, thank you for
Thank
your
you,
time.
Brady.
you.
Thank
We're
you.
ready. We're gonna make it at home. Vicky, take a picture. Okay, bye.
And guys, we'll get that recipe on the
I'll clean
website
up this picture.
as
Sorry.
soon as we get finished here. So anyway,
Yep, just log on. If you have any questions about how to log on and find the recipe, call us, okay? And we'll walk you through it. I want you to
and
be able to see.
I'll try to put that picture on the website as well.
Yeah,
So Nikki
we-
will send it to us and we'll get it on there.
we
Okay.
want you to be able to see it. There's Nicole. Hi,
There's Chef
Nicole.
Nicole.
We've seen her
She's
before
getting
in
ready to
class.
teach another class.
Okay, bye. We'll
Thank
see
you
you.
guys.
Check your email.
Oh, yeah, everybody check your email. Okay.
No, you.
Oh, I will. Thanks. Bye, everybody.